Hello, everybody. Brian here. It is late evening, early morning, depending where you are. It is 1:25 Eastern Standard Time, AM, AM. Let me repeat that. July 28th, 29th. I just opened up a Substack account. They have a podcasting facility on that, so I'm testing that with this podcast. I'll also broadcast this on the usual Podbean. I slowed down that schedule down to probably one a week. This time it'll be two in a week, but doesn't matter. This is one of those one-time analysis I look at. This is using Awanda data. Usually I don't talk about this, but I use harmonic scanning from Awanda across all their CFDs and Forex. And with this, using MotoWave, I can see scores of different pairs of different scores being excellent, very good, or good. Usually I just focus on the excellent and very good. So I'm going to go through this uh, in an audio format, see how it works out. First one I'm looking at, so these are all excellent so far. And right now I'm looking at the UK 100 CFD, which is the I can't remember what it's called. The British UK 100, and right now it's a pretty good run up from 7,300 to 7,700. That run up started July 12th. Straight up, I personally was worried about the British economy because of I saw France and Germany doing well earlier in the week, and yeah, UK is coming back in a big way. How long it will last, I don't know. And the next one I'm looking at is France, the CAC 40, FR 40. Excellent score. This one had a wild ride up. Again, this is probably fairly volatile. I wouldn't trade this one. UK might be on the tail end of it, but the France one, it does seem to be trending up, but it had decent uh, a decent dip there, but it did manage to recover. The next one we look at is super volatile. Wouldn't touch this in a million years. The pound, British pound against the New Zealand dollar, very volatile. Wouldn't take that in a million years. British pound and the Swiss franc has dipped. Shows you that British pound has weakened and the Swiss franc has strengthened. So again, I wouldn't take that. I like longs with good steady trend. So here we have the Canadian U.S. Canadian dollar oil trade. This should be trending up with how oil's trending up, but this one's super volatile. It's dropped back down to 132, 131, bouncing around there, chopping, chop since July 16th. So I wouldn't take that. U.S. Mexican peso has dropped as well, been in decline, and yeah, that's been up there, but I wouldn't put this on my maybe list or even confirmed trending list. You could obviously short this, but I'm not a big fan of short. I like the article or yeah, I think it was an article I put up on my chat server at quantlabs.info regarding Buffett doesn't like shorting. There's a reason why, so look it up. The next one we have some gold plays. Gold pretty well is weakened from 1780 June 14th down to 1690, 1704. This is in gold and Swiss franc. Okay, so it's in Swiss franc. Uh, Gold and euro kind of just bounced around there, range bound since June 25th, range bound between 1740 in 1770, again in euro. This one is a little better, gold and Hong Kong dollar. Has declined since the market started to rally, but between July 5th to around the 19th, it did run up, has dipped back. So it did peak at 15,500 in the Hong Kong dollar, dipped back down to 15,272, came back up to around 15,400 and dropped way down. And again, this is all due to when you have a rally in the US markets, gold will do the opposites. You can see here. And currently it's at 15,272. I wouldn't recommend it. Gold and New Zealand dollar, same thing, but it has had a run up. New Zealand dollar here from 31.20. It's a solid run up from 31 uh 40 roughly to 31.82. So the dip was not too long ago, July 27th. So that was 2 days ago on Thursday, I believe. Gold and Singapore dollar again chopping around. Not much going on there. I can't even bother. Silver now. Silver usually will outperform gold. I mentioned that in one of my trading view um, streams a while back. And yeah, do a comparison of gold versus silver, see which one's outperforming. But this one here is silver and Australian dollar. It had a really good run up between June 25th from 33 all the way up to 37. So that was just over a 10% run. It's been kind of choppy since then at 36,605.02. No, sorry, $36.60. Gold and silver trending up as well, been choppy again since that same time frame, July 20th. Just went choppy, but it had a kind of run up. So same pattern here for gold and the British pound. We talked about the France, Euro and Canada. It did peak here at July 18th, been in decline since. So it peaked at around 148.7. And now it's currently at 145. Euro Norwegian, it peaked here on July 6th, dropped back. So it peaked at 1170 and has dropped back to 1122. Uh, Euro, New Zealand, we covered. Okay, India. India, I know has been in the news a lot. The economy, it's just they're not trending. They're not long term trending like the other markets, be it the US, France, Britain, and Germany. Germany was earlier bouncing as well, but you're not seeing it here early in the week. They were probably one of the best performing instruments out there. But India 50 has just been in decline. It's peaked here on June. Oh, sorry, all the way back to April 29th at 17. Yeah, around 16,700. Now it's dropped back to a low June 16th at 1533.50, and it's been really not moving much since. It's currently at 15,729. Japan 225, the Nikkei was doing really good. And I'll just leave it at since July 12th, it's been very choppy, very volatile, currently at 32,944. New Zealand, Singapore dollar peaked here on June 7th and declined since. Peaked at 84 cents roughly, and now it's down to 81 cents, 81.60. Okay, I talked about the UK 100. That's doing pretty good. Here's the thing now, I'm starting to see some bonds. When they raise the rates of interest, you can expect that to decline. or if I got that wrong. Well, anyways, it did kind of peak until July 26th. Not very much. Then it's kind of calmed down. Right now, it's at 106. Soybean. Okay, this is where we got to worry about um, the Fed and the elevated cost of food production, agriculture, just the basics, like soybean being one. So, just as an example, it was around $14 in mid-January, peaked here at 16. It's dropped back to 15,421. These are the sort of things that I do believe that the Fed is watching, but you're not being made aware of it. That's one of the reasons why they jacked the Fed rate uh, a few days ago because of exactly this. The problem is if the economy starts to crank up again, which it looks like it could, inflation will kick in high gear again, and that's pretty evident here with the spike since mid June. Um, and things that we'll just call it elevated. So that's soybean. Now we have wheat. So it did peak here on June 18th. It came back down. So this is a trade around the U.S. markets. So it dropped back on July 12th to 620. Again, this is wheat. Peaked here. Now this is a big peak. Okay, this is a big run up in a very short period of time. So July 12th, 620 moved all the way up to 760. Okay, and that peaked again on July 12th, and it's declined since back to 695. So you can see how wheat has just run up so quickly in kind of a week where it's just gone up um, roughly 10% in just in a week. So this is the concern I think that the Fed has. We've not even talked about oil yet. So corn did peak on June 18th, around $7, declined, and then it went back to 525, and then it peaked here again on July 24th at 620, 625, and it's now currently at 574. So these move quite quickly. So that's probably what's worrying the Fed, that the inflation on the food core products are not really moving off. So the British pound against the Swiss franc peaked at 114 July 5th, and it's dropped all the way back to a buck 11 and stayed flat since. British pound, New Zealand, I think we talked about. Australian, Japanese yen. The yen usually is fairly stable, but it did drop back from July 3rd. It was around $96. That dropped back to July 13th down to 93. Then it peaked here at 96 on July 4th, and it's declined since. It's kind of recovering now to the 93.81, but very volatile with the Japanese yen. It's very rare, but they are trying to control their yield curve over the last few weeks. That's why there was a sudden drop yesterday or on Thursday in the markets. Friday did pretty good. I had a big monster trade on Friday. Australia Swiss franc just solidly declined. Here I'm seeing June 16th at around 61.5 cents, and it's declined all the way down to 58. Not much, but still. Okay, the Nasdaq's been steadily kind of running up. It looks like it peaked here at July 19th at roughly 15,863, dropped back, went choppy, and it's currently at 1574.76. So the market's gone up and down like crazy. Um, British pound against US dollars declined from its peak July 13th at $1.31. So now it's currently at 128. Had a little bit of a run up there, but not much. But the pound is seeing more pound activity. Very, very choppy with and range bound against the pound against the Australian dollar. Peaked back at July 11th at 194, and it's been choppy since. It's back up to 193. Just those are the sort of trades I don't want to take on. US dollar, okay, I've seen that. Okay, this was a very predictable trade up to a point. So I had a really good run up until June 30th, and it's declined hard. So it was June 30th, it was at 144, and it just dropped July 14th down to 137, had a run up again at 141, peak on July 21st, drop back, and now it's at 141, 159. So to sit here and say that the Japanese yen is no longer volatile or is volatile, that's not a good sign, because that was what most people went into for a safety trade, was USD Japanese yen. From what I'm seeing here, that's not really going to pan out. So I'm just gonna see on the USD Japanese yen. I'm gonna take a look at maybe a weekly chart. So yeah, it had a run up here. Okay, so it was at 110 on January 31st, 2021, and it was really stable. And I only had two times it dipped, but it went all the way up to 150, and it peaked at October 23rd at 150, dropped back. It's starting to go up again, up to 141. That was on June 18th. It's declined, so it's a little more volatile. And on a weekly basis, doesn't you don't see it, but it's hard to stay on top of that to say, yeah, this is a long, safe, long-term investment like since the 2021 run up or rally. USD, Norwegian krone. Usually, this I said coin currency. If things got really bad, I think the places to go in currencies will be the Scandinavian, Norway, Sweden, and Denmark. But right now, it dropped from 1080 USD Norwegian, dropped from 1078. That was on July 6th, and it just dropped all the way down just to 10 even, and it's gone flat since. There's a little bit of a rally up to 1019, but nothing to brag about. USD Denmark, that declined off of July 6th, went down to 665. It's trying to rally, but there's these dips here that just then declines. You just don't know what's going to happen. It's not a safe trade. Gold and Swiss franc has pretty well been flat, range bound between 1760 with a low of around 1690. Gold and British pound, same pattern, drop back, and it's been range bound since June 26th, let's say, hovering around 1524. Same with the gold in Singapore. It's super volatile. Wouldn't touch it. Silver in Canada, it's got a nice little run up between June 22nd, peaked at 33 in Canadian dollars, remember, on July 19th. Then it's kind of gone range bound. It's hard to say, but not safe to trade. Silver in Europe, same pattern, currently at 2208. Same pattern with the silver and Hong Kong dollar, 183 currently. I'm not seeing is not as volatile the variance since July 19th. Is a little tighter with silver in New Zealand, but it's still there. We can't hide it. So we're well into the very good rating. Uh, so we have Australia, Swiss franc, same like the others, just decline and then just kind of still declining. So it would have peaked June 20th at uh, 61 cents all the way down to currently roughly at 57 cents. Not a huge decline, but still. Okay, we have the Euro 50. I will say there's a good dip, but a really was two dips since 25th of July. But it has run up from around 4,300, let's say, all the way up to 44.64. So that's a pretty good run up since the last few days, trading days. Euro, US, Australian dollar, just completely range bound between 16.56 with its high. That's going all the way back to June 25th with a low of about a buck 63. The euro check is doing not bad. It's kind of in a rally. Started June 28th, 23 and a half, all the way up to 24.14. Peaked here July 12th and 24th, and it's been in decline since. Currently at 23.96. The euro, Denmark, really big price moves there since June 26th. The price I'm seeing roughly at 744 has not barely moved, but it's kind of trending, but it's wild. It's very volatile. I don't like it. 745. Euro and British pound, I think we went over, but it did have a run up here from a low of about 85. Um, and again, that's in British pound. So 85 pence, I guess you could say. Peaked here at 86, 87, and just declined since at 85.6. Euro Hong Kong dollar, same pattern, peaked July 17th, 878, has dropped back to 858. Euro Polish Zloty, it's just very volatile. There's no trend at all. I'm not even going to bother. Euro and Swedish, that peaked at around 1190 July 7th. Really sharp drop all the way down to July 13th at 1146 and slightly kind of trending, but really volatile right now at 1161. Euro Singapore dollar did rally up until peak July 18th, just declined now, buck 46. Uh, if you want my honest truth about the trade of the last number of years, it's going to be this one. Euro, Turkish lira was at 26, uh, 26, June 22nd. Now it's jumped up to 29. Has not dipped since during those time frames. It's been a solid run up, like huge return. Okay, Euro US dollar. It has a low here July 5th, a buck oh 08. Gone all the way up to a buck 12 and it's been in decline since. Now currently at a buck 10. Hong Kong 33, very volatile market. Last low point here, July 24th. Uh, I'm seeing here price at around 18,700. Now it's gone up to 20,116. Pretty good. I think China's doing pretty good as well. I might look at that on its own. Hong Kong Japanese yen. This can be a good one, but lately it's not been doing too good. Peak here on July 4th at 1847, dropped low point on July 14th, 1760, currently at 1810. I just don't like the look of it. It's very volatile. As I mentioned about India, peaked here June 2nd at 16,800, dropped back down to June 17th. Been kind of flat since, so it's currently at 15,800. Netherlands, super volatile. Low point and the last one here is July 26 at 70 at 770, let's say, and it's run up to 790. So it looks good, but it's super volatile. Canada, Singapore peaked June 26th and been declining since down to a buck. So that peaked from a buck 03 down to about, yeah, a dollar. Pound against the Singapore dollar peaked on July 13th, has gone down to July 20th at buck 70. It's been kind of range bound at $1.71. New Zealand, Singapore peaked kind of volatile up in those upswings up until on July 13th. Steady decline from 84 cents all the way down now to currently around 81 cents. This I'd hope to see did well, but it's been very flat, range bound, peaking at actually back to June 13th at 674, and it's currently at 666. And then the UK 10-year bond peaking April 28 at 102, been a steady decline since 95, 94. We're still in a very good. Um, so we've got the NASDAQ. That looks okay. But again, that's one of the only US exchanges. So it's not one of the strongest, let's put it that way. But it peaked here at, I think I did this before already, but it peaked at 1584 July 9th. It's been range bound since 1574, 15,746 current right now. Here's the interesting one is the Chinese yuan peaked here on 726. That was July 5th. It's been declined and ran up, but it's in a steady decline there. Now it's gone to 714. This one, interesting enough, but it's super volatile. Again, there's no trend. Peaked, this is the USD Hungarian, peaked at 354 July 7th, hit a low July 17th at 333. It's run up now to 349, but it's just kind of volatile. I just don't know. But there is a trend, that's for sure. Now, here's the USD Indian rupee. Again, peaked July 20th. We're looking around 80 rupees. And then it dropped all the way down to 78.36. And it's been volatile since. It's currently 79.70. US dollar. We covered a lot of these already. Okay, natural gas. Kind of been choppy going all the way back to June 23rd at a peak here, I believe, at around 281. Very choppy. 261 currently. The low since that time is roughly 247. So we talked about soybean, wheat, not seeing oil at all. Here's one we haven't done yet. This is the pound against the South African rand. Similar pattern as some of these other ones. Peaked at July 7th at 24.36 rand, all the way down now to 22.61. Let's see here. New Zealand, Canadian. Yeah, it's peaked July 17th at 84 cents. Kind of declined all the way down to 81 currently. Last one is the platinum. This is a little more stable actually, but it's been pretty well range bound. Low point of 887, high point on July 18th at 990 and drop back to 930. That's where we currently are at. So let me pull up the China 50. Yeah, it's been spiking pretty good. Um, July 24th, 12,400, and now it's gone all the way up to 1338. So that must be all stimulus doing that. It may come back down, or it may be sustainable to keep moving up. So I just wanted to put that out there. Um, Now I'm just looking up now. Brent crude that had a run up as well. Yeah, it's a nice steady run up from started this started around June 27th. The price was around 72. So it's right now nice good rally, 84 dollars. And let me look at the WTI as well. Okay, so WTI similar, June 28th, $68 all the way up to 80, 70. Pretty good. So that's pretty well it. Oh, let's take a look at the gold silver ratio. This can be fairly reliable. What I'm seeing here peaked June 23rd at around $86, and it's now declined to 80 and 42 cents. So when it starts to decline like that, it's a good sign because there's less risk in the market. Let me just check on a weekly basis on this. Yeah, so it peaked during the pandemic back on March 15th, 2020. So it was well over 123. It's dropped back. It's gone into a range bound. It started to build up again September 4th, 2022. That would take you into the early sessions of February 8th, before the virus kicked in. And it's fairly stable since. Actually, declined since that time period, I'd say. So less pressure on the markets. Pretty well lit. If you like what you hear, they'll get some textbooks, videos, all that. Actually, the courses, actually, quantlabs.net/books. Thanks for listening.